I've been getting to drive bigger equipment. I've been getting to fell bigger trees. I've been getting to do a lot of really cool stuff that I'm excited about to learn. There's a lot more mundane things that kind of also fill the cracks, but God has allowed me really to be super fulfilled in a lot of cool things I've been able to do in my job recently. Even being able to connect it with really the mission of seeing missionaries sent out and adequately trained so that, they don't have to worry about the tree that falls in the middle of the road or all these drainage issues. And, God allows me to have some fun cutting down trees 50 feet in the air or on the ground or whatever to make sure that these students don't have to focus on all these peripheral things, but can focus on their studies to go be missionaries, or the teachers can continue to teach and don't have to worry about, a water pipe in their house breaking or all these different things. And that's been, an awesome part of my ministry lately. Sometimes I feel like a giant toddler because I just get to play with Tonka toys and except they're like big and real life now. And I got to learn how to drive a backhoe recently. It's got this big arm that digs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, do I really get to do this? Like, people trust me with this? And so I have a lot of fun doing that and I find a lot of fulfillment, and it's really cool. And kind of amidst all that fulfillment and some of the fun stuff, God has been incredibly faithful to continually reveal just how brutally wretched of a sinner that I am. I was driving the tractor one day just doing some of my work, and I was listening to this audiobook called The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton. And he was a convict, wrongly convicted and put on Alabama's death row. And he had this profound and very concise quote that kind of brought all these things into focus for me. He said, "Spending your days waiting to die is no way to live. Spending your days waiting to die is no way to live." And it all came to a fulcrum at that point for me when, and I thought by serendipitous occasion, I'd come into church and they were talking about being a good steward with your time, with your resources. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's awesome. And then, but you could imagine my conviction and how deep it was when I had realized that just 2 weeks ago, I had been teaching at the basketball ministry. I'd been teaching about being a good steward, offering our resources of our time, talent, and treasure to God, when just in those weeks since, those 2 weeks, I had been an incredibly poor steward, a poor manager of my time. I'd been wasting it, seemingly just spending my days waiting to die. And like Anthony said, that is no way to live. Man, that was rough, and it all came together at that point, but thank God he was faithful to convict me. I was able to go home that night, honestly, to repent and to, get time in the Word, get time in prayer, doing worthwhile things, and just praising God that he's faithful to change me and grow me. And man, that's where, I would just thank you guys for your incredible support and prayers. I need your prayers. Some of you guys are faithfully praying that honestly, I just walk with the Lord in an awesome way that continues to grow, because I need that vitally for any ministry I'm going to be founded. Man, those prayers are certainly coming into effect, and I need you guys to keep praying for that, and I really appreciate it. On top of that, some other things to pray for, continued support, to raise, but under the praise on top of that, God has continued to raise my support, and those prayers are being answered. I'm now at 80%, which is awesome. And today, literally just today, 2 people told me that they were going to start supporting me. And I'm like, that's awesome. I'm not even doing active support raising because I've been focusing on the work I'm doing at the Missionary Training Center. But God is faithful to answer your guys' prayers and my prayers. And I just thank you for that. Still need prayer for that. I would also love prayer, honestly, for what I just talked about, for this area where I can continue to learn and grow and continue to offer my time up to the Lord and be a good steward of it. I would also love prayer for, the basketball ministry. There's some really cool fruit that I'm excited to share with you guys and maybe some future updates. And I just love continued prayer for those guys, the relationships there. There's a lot of cool content and lessons that we're excited after kind of this winter break, a little bit after the holidays, coming back to be able to teach these guys. And well, it's just going to be super awesome. So I love prayer for that. And honestly, just thank you guys so much for your prayers. Thank you guys a ton for just your support. I mean, none of this is really possible without you guys, and I don't know. I can't thank you enough, and especially with this holiday season, it of course causes one to reflect and think upon just the incredible blessings of the most recent year, and you guys are an incredible blessing in my life, and I can't thank you enough. And looking forward to this holiday season, get to spend some time with some family, and get to go spend some time in Georgia with Reba's family, and it's going to be a good time. I'm really excited, just praising the Lord for that, and praising the Lord that He sent His only Son, and that's what we get to celebrate this season. Thanks, guys, for listening, for praying, for supporting, and have a Merry Christmas.